Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumin and today we're having a look at Everdream Valley. This is a farming adventure with a dash of magic. By day, restore your quaint homestead into a summer paradise. Raise crops, care for animals, and rebuild to your heart's content. And then, at night, inhabit the various farmland creatures through your dreams to bring enchantment to the valley. Yeah, it looks kind of fun. Cute. Relaxing, cozy. I think cozy is the word. If you'd like to read more about this game, discover all there is to discover, you can find some links below, as always, along with the timestamps. They'll help you out. I recommend jump into the randomization section if you want to have a quick look at what's available. That said, we're going to jump in. We'll have a look at the options available here, and then at the end we'll randomize. So that's the order of activities or events in this video. I'm going to start by saying there's no male or female selection. You start with this guy right here, this person right here, and you customize it. You make it look the way you want it to look. I think it's a great system. They give you all the options to make your character look either masculine or feminine, and you just take it from there. It's good. Perfect. Whatever. No need to complicate things unnecessarily. So you start by putting your name in over here. I've already got Lumin. Perfect. And then your first choice is the head. You can choose from a bunch of different shapes. Decent options here. I like that they give you like rounder ones, squarer ones, sort of more cartoony looking ones, and then more, I can't really say realistic looking ones, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. We're going to go with the default one because I think it'll lend itself well to the customization we're doing here. And we're going to jump into ears. The ears are, well, they are what they are. They're a specific style. They stand out a little bit, remind me of monkey ears, but that's fine. You get to pick smaller ones. We'll take the smaller ones here. And then I think the most important choice here to sort of steer your character in one way or the other is the hair options. You can rotate and you can zoom in. The hair options will allow you to drastically change the way your character looks, you know, whether it looks more feminine or more masculine. And you're going to want to pay attention to your choice here because it's an important one. And yes, you can change the color as well. We'll do that after we've looked at the styles. Do not worry. There are some decent styles here. I think that they look reasonably nice, and that the art style of the game seems to lend itself well enough to what they're going for here. There's not a massive amount. I feel like the game could have probably added maybe a few more loose, long styles. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? So I don't see these as like really loose, long. I mean like more strands, sort of like this one, but longer. You know, I think it could have sort of looked good with that. And I also feel like maybe one or two ponytails, you know, proper ponytails would have looked nicer. We've got this one, but like, I mean a sort of a longer one. But yeah, this is fine. It's enough. In terms of the colors, we've got a decent selection. You will notice immediately that it strays from realism pretty significantly. You just sort of pick it. You pick the color. It's not full RGB. But they do cover pretty much everything you could possibly want here. They've got the pinks, they got the bright blues and the sort of neon-y colors and whatever. And in my opinion, it's more than enough. Like for this kind of game, it's a perfect amount of options. You know? Perfect. Let's take this style and we'll continue. Next up, we have the nose choice. A lot of noses, you know? If you compare the amount of noses that we have here to the amount of hairstyles, it's kind of weird that they have so many. And the option does sort of change the way your character looks quite a lot. Let me show you the noses from the front and then switch over to the side view so that you can sort of understand the impact it has. It is pretty impactful and it definitely changes your character's look quite substantially. The smaller ones could be seen as more feminine, or at least the more dainty ones. I think that's the word I should use. But there are a few decent choices, and I do think that some of the bigger ones even look quite nice. Like, personally, I think this one's quite nice. But, yeah, some alright choices here with the nose. Then you get to choose the skin color. I am a little sort of curious about why the skin color is so far down, but, yeah, it's usually one of the choices that you make earlier on. I wasn't a huge fan of the colors that they gave for the skin colors here, because, I don't know if it's just me, but it's like, this one is a normal skin color, but this one has sort of a greeny tinge to it, as does this one. And then it sort of ends up looking not quite right. You know, it's like they have too much of the wrong shades in there to make it look like a normal skin color. But hey, it's a dash of magic, remember? I don't know. Personally, I like the basic one more, but they could have had a little bit more here. Like, they could have gone a little darker, and they could have made the darker options... I'm not going to say more realistic. That's the wrong word to use here. But they could have made them a little bit more... right? Eyebrows. Eyebrows are important. They sort of set off the right or the wrong moods on your character. They set you up to be a certain type of farmer. Be it mischievous, or angry, or concerned, or happy and welcoming. You know, there are a whole lot of different moods you can peruse here by just going through the eyebrows. I always love it. It's, for whatever reason, one of my favorite sections of character creation. Eyebrows. Just eyebrows. Because all these different game companies have different ways of creating these eyebrows, of drawing them on your character. And sometimes they manage to do some seriously impressive stuff with very little, you know? They really bring out whatever the mood may be that they're trying to bring out quite substantially, and I think it's fantastic. And again, this is another point that you could use to make your character look more masculine or feminine, but for the most part, I think you pick in the mood of your character here, and I dig it. I think it's really cool. The eyebrows are great. You can choose the color of your eyebrows, much the same as the hair. I don't think that eyebrows always have to, like, as a hard and fast rule, be the same color as the hair. I think that it's pretty acceptable to make the eyebrows like a darker color and the hair lighter color. Looks good. Then you get to pick eyes. Almost as impactful as the eyebrows, in my opinion. Some might argue that it's more so, but they have a lot here. And once again, a good choice to be able to mix things up. You get to change the color, but we'll look at that afterwards. It's a good choice to be able to change whether your character is going to be feminine or masculine, or anything in between, because they give you different amounts of eyelashes, different sort of styles, once again, that could be more suited to male or female characters. Kind of nice. And again, I'm a big fan of the art style here on the eyes, much like I was on the eyebrows. I think they did great with this. I am just, once again, also just a little disappointed by the fact that they have so few hairstyles, but they have so many eyes. I don't know, maybe different teams made it. Maybe the hair team was slacking a little bit. I couldn't say, but the eye choices, the eye options, awesome. Awesome options. Lots of great ones here. I dig it. Let's take these ones. I think that's a nice neutral one that looks nice. Let's look at the colors quickly. Very happy with how impactful the colors are in the eyes. They do stray a little from reality once again, as we expected they would based on the hairstyles, by giving you like red eyes and bright pink eyes and whatever else. It's nice. It's kind of nice. I think it looks cool. Then, facial marks. This is kind of an interesting section. It's basically just markings on your face. You can choose freckles. You can choose... I don't know if these are supposed to be like dimples or something, but I assume so. And then you can choose beauty marks. And I think it's a good selection. There's that little dot. It's a good selection. There's like a dimple on this. It's like a smirk, basically. It's not bad. There's the dimples around the mouth. Those are like, I'm trying to decide if it's rings around the eyes or if it's supposed to be something else, but I'm going to put the freckles on. Now, this I feel is one section that they could have probably expanded on a little bit. So this is the mouth. You have some options here, but they're all just thin stripes. Now, I don't know if they maybe were not sort of keen on adding more, like they didn't want to let the character show its teeth. But there are some options here. It's just not a huge amount. You know, I like it once again. Again, they're going for like a simple and satisfying style, and that's cool. But a few more options here would have probably been easy enough to add, and it would have, let's just say, given you a whole lot more to work with. But there you go. That brings us to the end of the options that you have available. You don't get to change any of the body shapes, because my assumption is you are a pretty young kid, and it wouldn't really be much different for male or female in terms of the body types, the outfits and all that stuff, and basically everything else that you work with, you do in the game. I don't have a full list of stuff that you can change in the game, but the rest of it you change in the game. And if anyone knows anything about that, please leave comments. Let me know. Let anyone else who watches this video know. It's always awesome when you guys take part like that, when you're involved like that, make this an interactive experience. But with all of these options done and done, let us start randomizing. This is always fantastic. It gives you a good look at what's available. You will see that as you jump through these different presets, you got some male characters, you got some female looking characters, you got some cool looking cats, and well, everything in between. It's good. It's great, actually. There are so many different styles that you can get here. It's full randomization. They're giving you like different colors on the eyebrows and the hair and the skin and everything. The eyes you can see is changing as well. I appreciate that. But yeah, you are sort of, I want to say, funneled a little bit into a certain style, which may or may not make people happy. You know, it's the kind of thing, once again, that you jump into a game and you are playing a role. This is the character you're playing. It looks a certain way. The characters in the game look a certain way. And you just got to be happy with it. You got to live with it. But that brings us to the end of the video. If you guys have anything to say about this, if you've played the game, if Everdream Valley is something that you've been looking forward to and you've jumped into it and you've been spending time in it, I'd love to hear from you guys what you think of the game, what you think of the character creation and customization. Is there enough stuff in the game to keep things fresh? Not a huge amount of options here, and personally, while I think it is enough, I do think that there are some easy additions that they could make to make more people happy with the customization offered here. But hey, it's not a big deal, and it's definitely not a deal breaker to me. I think it's fine. I think the characters are kind of nice. It sort of reminds me a lot of the options that they give you in something like My Time at Portia or My Time at Sandrock, but obviously a little bit less. That said, it's still pretty cool. You can, as always, give this video a like, share it, and do all that other good stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. And again, let me know if you've been enjoying this. Most importantly, though, happy creating those characters, my dudes. Happy that.